Hello and welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. My name is Shalise Stevens and I'm here with Trip Mitchell. Actually here.
You are actually here. And I am with the #1 author on Amazon new releases. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here. She's in the other room.
I know.
So Shalise, no, you are #1 on new releases on Amazon.
I was yesterday. I did drop to #3, but we don't need to talk about that part of it. But as yesterday, I was #1 new release bestseller on Amazon.
That is impressive as shit.
Thank you.
I
was pretty overwhelmed and pretty excited.
That is
all the things.
Such an accomplishment. And this is part of the democracy of media. So in the old days, 3 people in every city would determine who gets on TV. And then maybe 5 or 6 people determine who gets on radio. Now you've got a situation where you're taking the bull by the horns. You're doing your own podcast, your own TV show, and your own book. That's darn impressive. And what it allows us is to have new people talking and getting attention and kind of making the world better. So
yeah,
my hat's off to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Who's our guest?
So our guest, her name is Adrienne, and she is the owner of Painting with a Twist in Murray. And I actually want to tell my story on how I met Adrienne because it's kind of funny.
Okay. Well, first of all, Adrienne, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
having me.
Where
are you now? It looks very artistic.
I am actually in my studio right now in Murray, the Painting with a Twist.
Okay. So
and look, I'm wearing my shirt.
Okay.
Because I used to work there. But I'm gonna, we're twinners.
Okay. Well, how did you meet?
We planned it.
All right. Well, many years ago, probably, when was it? It was 2005.
Oh, we don't need to go into how old we are.
We're going to take it way back. So I was auditioning for a movie, and so was Adrienne, and we were going for the same part. And of course, it got down to the 2 of us, and they picked the blonde like they do. Sorry, no offense. I love
come
you.
on.
Wait.
Like they do.
It was called Dark Room, and it was a good one. But so that's how we.
Wait. So was this like a theatrical movie or?
No, it was a film, and we met Dave. He was in the movie. He was the star of the show, and I actually did a short for it that won it was Slam Dance way back then, and we did a short of this movie, and I was the wife of that show and got to shoot him in the head 3 times, which was kind of nice.
So,
there.
How do we find
some subconsciousness going on?
So how do we find this movie now?
It's on Amazon still, I think.
Okay. Well,
it's called Dark Room. So anyway, so we went for this, and it was a different part that we were both going for, and she got it. And so then when we were at the premiere, I met her, and we were both pregnant at the same time too. So like we were going for the same part, then we were pregnant at the same time. Yeah, we were very pregnant. And our babies were due at it was like the same time.
Couple weeks apart.
I had my baby first. I think that's where I won.
Oh yeah.
So are you?
I love you so much. See what you do? You make me so sassy. No, I'm just kidding. I'm like this anyway.
So the thing about audition, that sucks. Because you go in and you have a bunch of people who are talented, and you're all sitting in a room, and it puts so much pressure on you because you're trying to, you want to win, you want to get the part, but then you're sitting with people you're competing against, and it's a weird dynamic.
Yeah, well, and then you go to the premiere because your husband's in the show. Well, I guess anyway, husband was in the show, so I go to the premiere and I get to see all the people that I lost against. But then she's so cute and she's so pregnant like me, and I'm like, okay,
oh, and you're so nice and not catty like a lot of, I mean, takes 2.
Let me ask a dumb question. Did the movie pay a lot?
I don't remember.
It was low budget, so it did pay, but not like. I did not get rich off it.
I ended up going on a 5-week road trip while that was being filmed anyway. So I actually...
You made out. But here's the thing about...
That's probably why I got it, actually.
Right.
These weren't available, so they went with their second choice.
Yeah.
That's
so.
Wouldn't you hate to be... There have been some TV series where actors and actresses were cast in the lead role, and they get the part, and then they go back and they shoot the pilot, as it were, and then someone either at the production company or at the network makes a change. So there have been people who've been in shows that have been on for 10, 12 years, iconic parts that have had it. They're telling their friends, they shoot the pilot, and then they lose it.
Yeah.
Showbiz.
That happens all the time in showbiz.
God, what a horrible
And I've
business.
had my fair share of losings too. It's not, it's
What's the biggest role you've
business.
had?
I was, it kind of depends on how you define biggest role. My favorite one was when I starred in a TV series called The Gap.
Wow.
That was a few years back, but I think that was my favorite thus far.
Tell me about that show.
It is about a, I don't know, it's kind of a drama / comedy. There's a bit of time travel involved. Basically, the first episode, I wake up, and so does a guy. We wake up on our wedding day having forgotten the past 7 years of our lives. We decide to get married anyway. Yes. And kind of figure out why we've decided that we're soulmates, and even though we can't remember, and I don't know, drama ensues.
How many years did that run?
What?
How many years did it run?
Just one. It was one season. And yeah.
I always
had a good like closure at the end. Like it was one of those where it was like you're kind of satisfied. So it could have gone on, but it also fit, if that makes sense.
Well, that's impressive. What's it like to be in a big time TV series? Every one of your whims is taken care of. You've got your own trailer. Is that about as good as it gets?
Oh, well, I didn't have my own trailer. It wasn't like some Hollywood production, but it was pretty cool. Anytime you're on set as an actor, I mean, that's like, it's the best. It's your time. It's like, especially as a mom, when most of my life is for other people, it's the one time where you're like, this is me, this is my time.
Well, and it gives you that thing where, you want to be everything when you grow up, and you get to be everything when you grow up. And you just act it for a few days, and then you get to move on. You can check that off your list.
And you get to try something else next
time.
I
know.
But what's weird is
a lot more.
So I had a friend of mine who was at one point a pretty prominent actress. So she had her own Fox series. But then what happened is she was picked to be in the initial cast of Friends, but she was pregnant with her first daughter. And so Jennifer Aniston got that role, but she was in Friends all 10 years. And so, but when we would be out, people would come up to her and say, I know you. And she would say something, and then she would have to defend her career, which is weird, where she would tell the people something that she's did, and they go, no, it's not that. And so it finally got to the point where she wouldn't talk to, she would say, no, I'm not in the business. I'm from Des Moines and I'm a farmer. But I've heard it's so kind of weird when you're an actor or an actress and you have to talk to strangers who come up to you, and then they have to determine what you've done. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's weird. And
well, that's why when people
you have to like
so what have you
yourself.
been in?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're not going to know anything that I've been in. Like, I mean, I can list it, and you'd be like, oh, what's that? And
yeah, it's almost kind of pointless. Do you ever get recognized at all?
I have a few times. Yeah.
Do you like that?
It's cool. I mean, I'm at the point where like, wow, it's cool if somebody recognizes me. I don't know what it would feel like to be pushing people away and like, leave me alone, give me my space. I'm nowhere near that. So now I'm like, yeah, that's cool. They noticed me from this. I'm like getting recognition for something that I've done. So I'm kind of in that zone of an actress.
Do you go out on many calls now?
Yeah, I mean, I would say a medium amount. I have auditions, callbacks, and a few bookings every, I don't know, once a week, once a month, something like that.
How do you remember lines? That's the hard part.
You practice.
You practice. Yeah, there you go. It comes,
Well,
that
and
actually comes pretty naturally to me. I feel very lucky that usually isn't a huge challenge unless I'm auditioning for something that's like some medical science weird thing where like every second word is ecclesiastical, I don't know, some crazy long word that I don't have a clue what it means. That's when it's hard. But if I know what I'm reading, if I know what it means, then it comes pretty easily.
Yeah.
So
I know
anyway,
that's
I interrupted you about
everyone,
10 minutes
but-
ago. Go ahead.
Oh, well, well, I was just saying that the thing I love about the acting world, and I have a love-hate relationship with it for sure, but it brings
Like
people
everyone,
like
I'm
Adrienne
sure.
into my life. Yeah, and we've become such good friends because when we had our babies, they were 10 days apart, and we started having weekly play dates, and our kids for, what was it, like 2 or 3 years?
Oh my gosh,
Basically,
at
yeah,
least.
yeah.
Came to birthday parties. It was
Yeah. And they started to, I mean, we were just besties, and we would do everything with our kids, and so automatic friendships, and that was really great. And then many years later, I was needing a second job because I was a single mom. I was working at IHG.
You killed your husband in the TV show.
I didn't, well, yeah, that, but, and then we ended up getting divorced, and so single mom then. And Adrienne and I have always been really good friends, and I started painting a little bit, and I knew that she had purchased Painting with a Twist, and I was like, hey, you're hiring, I can pretend to paint. And she believed it. I'm such a good actress.
So back to that.
I worked for Adrienne as a painting instructor, so I was a paid artist at that point too, thanks to Adrienne. So
what is, Adrienne, what is Painting with a Twist?
It's a paint and sip studio where you come and an artist will take you through a painting step by step. You drink wine, you listen to music, we play games, we have prizes, and at the end you leave with this masterpiece that you created. So it's pretty fun. And Shalise is such an entertainer that's where she really shone. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's an entertaining, fun, we call it fun art, not fine art. So yeah, you learn some stuff about painting, and yeah, you go away with something that you're happy with. That's our goal. But it's also a really fun 2 hours.
How long does a typical evening take? How many hours?
It's usually 2 hours. We've got like kid classes, family classes that are sometimes an hour and a half. And then we have custom art that's sometimes around 3 hours. Like we do a paint your pet, where you send in a picture of your pet. We will sketch it on the canvas for you, and then you come in and paint it. And those are really cool personal classes, really sweet. Some of them are about their pets that they just, love and adore. And some about their pets that have passed on. So it's like always really tender and sweet. And those take more time. We have a 3-hour event for those.
That is, what a sweet, great idea. That
I
is
know,
pretty wonderful.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
you found something. A friend of mine has a business down in Vegas called Grape Expectations. And what it is a winery where groups of people come in, a group of 30 or 40 people will form a little club, and he'll order the grapes from me, be it from Napa or even down in Chile or wherever. And they go through, they teach you how to crush the grapes, put them in the big vats, and then how to bottle them. But what it is, it's a collective activity where 30 or 40 people are having fun. And your business sounds exactly like that. Not a group of 30 or 40 people, but you can come in and learn something new, and most importantly, have something to remember it by. And that's a great idea.
Yeah.
So the other thing that's really cool, and actually how we kind of reconnected, was they do private parties for groups of people as well. And she also does fundraising events once a month. She has a Painting with a Purpose. And so my very first Rainy Days event that I did it at her studio.
Wow.
And the second one and the third one.
Okay. Have you done any fundraising anywhere else?
Yes, last year I did, just because I did it through Salt Lake Community College, and the whole class and DECA and everything was involved. But I mean, love Adrienne, and everybody loves to go and paint, and knowing that it goes to a good cause. I mean, I'm definitely going to be back. So
where are you, by the way, in Murray?
We are right across the street from Fashion Place Mall. Actually,
yeah, I've heard of
so
it.
right off the freeway. It's a pretty easy find.
Oh yeah.
Yep, it's super great. And when we come back, we're going to find out more about Painting with a Twist and what they're doing now that there is a pandemic and they can't get the groups of people together.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, welcome back to Coffee Talk Tuesday. My name is Shalise. I'm here with Tripp and our lovely guest, Adrienne.
Can you ever do an intro without saying lovely?
Apparently I can't.
Yeah.
I did it the last time, actually. I was listening for it and I can't do it. I'm trying to work on it, and as soon as it came out of my mouth, I was like, dang it.
Well, we'll work on it. But Adrienne is lovely, but irrespective of that.
She only invites lovely guests.
I do invite lovely guests.
Yeah, you actually, you have very attractive friends.
I do.
Mostly the men, but some of the women aren't bad either.
Well, you always hang around.
Yeah. So Adrienne,
yes,
the world has changed. Tough to get people in. Hopefully things are turning for the better, though. I'm terrified.
yeah,
And it depends on who you get your media from.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a little left of center like I am, MSNBC, CNN are pretty terrified for the planet. If you're right of center and you watch Fox, everything's fine. My sense of people, that things are a little tougher than we suspect. But that being said, how are you going about serving your community during a very difficult time?
So it's been really tough. For the first few weeks, it was literally like learning an entire new job. Like I was in my flow, and then it was like, okay, now it's a whole new job to do. But we have been offering take-home paint kits and virtual classes via Zoom and YouTube live, depending on like how big the class is, what the case is. And it's been really fun and really rewarding, actually. We've had so many people just thanking us, like, thank you so much for giving us this time. And I'll tell you what, the first class I taught we did it YouTube Live, the first one. It was amazing. After the 2 hours, and this was in the beginning when like everything was stressful. I mean, I seriously had ADD because of stress, After that 2 hours, I like sat and thought for a second, and I was like, I didn't think of anything stressful. That whole 2 hours, I was like, I forgot that we were in the middle of a crisis and that life was crumbling down around me, and my kids were home with homeschool, and I was like just freaking out. That 2 hours was just bliss, and I didn't even realize it till it was over. And that's kind of what I've been getting from our customers, is that, yeah, it's a 2 hours, maybe 1.5 hours that you're concentrating so hard on this painting and telling jokes and being with the people that you're not stressed. And so as we've been for the past however many years, we're continuing to be a carefree escape. And that's the goal, is to be something where we can feel safe and escape for even.
When things open up, I definitely want to sit down with you. This would be a great activity for my department at Snowbird. We do a preseason party, we do an end of the season party, and this year we obviously couldn't do that, but maybe when things open up again, it would be fun. I work with 90 insane out of the box people who love to do tours. We're all a little crazy, but it might be a fun group. But how does someone get a hold of you for their group, or if they wanted to work and do a fundraiser through your organization?
Yeah, so we're actually offering virtual private parties as well. And starting in June, we're going to have private parties, as well as a few classes that are open that people can come that will be smaller, will have distance and be as safe as possible. Obviously, you're not like ever, completely safe, but we're going to be as all the rules and the guidelines and everything. So we're really excited about that. There's light at the end of the tunnel. The best way to get to us is via email or also our website if you contact us through there. But the best thing to do is to email us at murray@paintingwithatwist.com.
And I'll have all that information on the blog and on the videos and podcasts and stuff too. So
how did you decide this? Did you buy, is this a business that you started from scratch, or is it a net?
No, we're actually a franchise that, interestingly enough, started out of a crisis. Hurricane Katrina inspired the two founders to start Painting with a Twist. They were the first ever to do paint and sip, and they started it in Louisiana right after everyone's lives were changed forever. And so now it's kind of interesting. We're going through another big disaster together. And so what happened was I started working for Painting with a Twist as an artist and a manager. And the owners wanted to move to Massachusetts and open a studio there, and offered the studio here to me.
Oh, that's fantastic. How tough is it to find people who are good artists, but also have the person to teach art? Because those are a different thing.
Yeah, they have to be good at painting and entertaining. And that's, artists have a certain personality oftentimes that doesn't always coincide with entertainment. But I've been really lucky. I have some artists that are just the most amazing people that you'll ever meet. They're adorable. They each have their own little quirk, their own little style. And I've been really lucky, and I've picked the ones that I like. That's how you do it. You find people you like and teach them how to paint.
That's true. But you're an amazing manager and boss as well, and
thank you.
You know what you're doing. You have, you surround yourself with people that can help you build that. And I mean, and I wasn't a trained artist at first. I maybe shouldn't say that on air. But I mean, I'd painted for a while. I just wasn't like trained, or I wasn't going to school for it. But she let me come in, and she worked with me so much to make sure that I was there, because like she said, like I had I love teaching. I love being in front of people and like being a dork.
So you could literally, so you took Shalise, who was a house painter, and you turned her into a fine art painter. That is,
yes.
That's amazing.
Oh, she was good before. She had definite artistic
because
talent.
The painting that I did, that one of them that I actually sent to her, is now on the cover of my book.
Yeah.
Well, my own painting.
Wait.
I texted her. I was like, "You'd be so proud of me."
I am.
Shalise, it's your book. Now, if this picture was on the cover of someone else's book, I would be more impressed.
Well, the digital graphic designer picked that one over everything that she did.
Okay, you're warming me up. So
I will
Adrienne,
toot my own horn all day long.
Sometimes you do get tired, but we have down at our studio where we're shooting this, it's kind of an artist co-op, and we have some amazing photographers who do work down here. But I am so impressed with people who can draw. Have you ever totally horrible at doing any artwork and have them create something that's that you could actually look at?
I missed part of what you said. Were you talking customer?
So I am the least artistic person in the world. If I come down, could I create something that I'd be proud of at the end?
Definitely. You're our best customer, because you come in expecting nothing and you walk away. I cannot tell you how many times I have heard men and women, husbands, wives, whatever, children say, "I can't believe I did this." Like those words are, I hear them every single time. I cannot believe I did this. Or, wow, I'm surprised at how good I am.
Well, frankly, I
would
heard that
not,
out of
like-
Shalise after our first show. And
And yet you're
I thought I was about to get punched there. I was backing up.
no, I said, and yet you're still here.
Well,
I don't pay you.
This is one of those things when I die and I'm in front of the pearly gates. They say, Tripp, you've done 4,012 things really bad. Give me one good thing you've done. And I could say Coffee Talk Tuesdays.
Oh, that's really sweet.
I'll still go to hell, but
Right? But at least, you won't, you have one thing.
one thing isn't bad. One thing's not bad. How much would you charge a large group to come out and do something like this? Is there a fixed price, or it'd be better to call you?
Well, yeah, you could call me. It definitely varies depending on what painting you choose and what surface, because we've got so many options. We've got screen art. We've got 10 by 30 canvases. We've got 12 by 12, 16 by 20. We've got the giant 24 by 36. So that does definitely vary, but the general price is $35 to $37 per person, with the minimum. So for a private party, the minimum is 10 people. During the next 2 months, a couple months, depending on how like the pandemic goes, we've reduced that to a minimum of 7 people. And we also have a few little like
Because that would be
deals and
fun to
specials
do.
that we're offering.
So with our mountain host department, so we have 90 in our host department. It'd be fun
nice.
to do this.
Yeah.
To have you come up when we do our meeting in the fall and just do this at the end of the afternoon to have a chance. I mean, that would
Well,
be.
we went out. So I've been, I would go out and do a lot of the traveling and stuff. And we went to eBay, and I think there was probably 90 people there. There were 3 of us artists. There were a ton of people. I don't remember how many, but we were washing cups for a long time is what I remember.
That's how we measure how many people there are.
Yeah.
If our
How
hands
long
start
are
to
you
get
washing cups a
pruny
day?
and freezing.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's a good time. And that's why I wanted her on the show, because I thought, everybody has been struggling so much with the pandemic and with it being at home. And I just love what she's doing and what they've been able to create at the studio, and bringing that piece of art and fun and something different into every day. So.
Well, you've been an amazing guest, and I'm really impressed with what you do.
Much. Thank you.
And so, Shalise, just think if you'd gotten the part, how your life would be different now.
It probably would have, actually, because she wouldn't have been there.
We wouldn't know each other.
We wouldn't, because the only reason why I was there was because I was with the star of the show.
You're the star. I was the star. Yeah.
And so then I had to tell her, you took my part. But
Have you
I
ever
love
taken an acting class?
I used to teach acting classes.
Well, wait.
I've been acting since I was 23 years old. That's how Dave and I met, when in acting studio, and I was taking acting classes from Charlie Halford. And
you were taking acting classes from Charlie Halford? No, I've no idea.
He's in LA right now. He's actually maybe going to be on our show one day. We keep talking about it, but I keep pushing it. Because I get Adrienne to say yes. And then I'm like, all right, Charlie. Anyway, so because of Charlie, I met Dave in their acting studio that they had. And so, yeah, I've been in the acting world since I was 23 years old.
Wow.
I've done all the parts.
Have you ever done a play?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's got,
I was 5. I was 5 when I started doing plays.
I thought you were in the acting world when you were 23.
Well, that's film acting.
Well, acting.
Adrienne's like,
what are these guys talking about?
The typical story. You always get asked that too. Film and theater is a little bit different.
Well,
my goal is to be on stage, though, in the next 5 years. I want to do a musical.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Well, we can build you a stage. We've got the equipment. Adrienne, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you, Adrienne.
You're a delight.
Thank
and
you.
We'll post all your stuff on the website. You'll see it at the bottom of the screen.
Yep.
And at the end of the podcast. And as usual, Shalise, you have the best friends, and you get them on your show.
I do, because they're amazing.
Well, that's something right there.
Right?
Take us out of here.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching and listening and being a support to us as well and getting us through these hard times.
Why don't you get people to buy your book?
Oh, and if you want to buy my book, it's called Finding 40, A Mother's Walk with Grief, and it is on Amazon. And if you just put Finding 40, I pop right up. Or if you go on Barnes & Noble, you can also get it just by putting in my name, Shirley Stevens.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Sometimes I do cool things.
There's no question. Thanks for watching, listening. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.